Good morning. Welcome back to the discussion on the number series puzzle based questions. In the first session in the morning, we have discussed number series questions based on a wrong number series, in which we had two types of questions: finding the wrong number, and second, finding the new series using the wrong number, and then finding a term of the new series. Now, in this last session of number series puzzle type questions, I am taking up number grid puzzles. Now, this is a relatively new thing for banking exams, and if I look at the previous banking exam papers, don't see any question based on number grid puzzles. But as I have told that earlier also, that if you keep preparing only by looking at what has happened in the past, what has come in the past, then you will leave yourself open to surprises in the exam. आप सिर्फ अगर पिछले पेपर्स को देखेंगे और उसके हिसाब से तैयारी करिएगा, तो आपको एग्जाम में ऐसा हो सकता है कि कुछ नया आ जाए, फिर आप कहेंगे कि ये तो मैंने कभी देखा ही नहीं था, ये मैंने कभी पढ़ा नहीं था. This should not happen. And that is why we are trying to cover all possible questions also in this training program for Target IBPS Prelims 2018, so that nothing happens new in the examination for you. There is no surprise for you. You are familiar with every question type, and you are well prepared in advance for all the questions that can possibly come in your examination. So a number grid puzzle is based on diagrams and grids, where some numbers are given to you and some numbers are not, or one number is not, and you have to find out the logic. Very much like a number series question, there is not much difference. In the number series question also, some numbers are given to us in a series, and we have to find out the logic used in creating that series, and then based on that we find out what is the wrong number or which is the next number. Okay? Not much difference in terms of application of logic and thought. However, difference lies in presentation. Okay, so we will see different types of questions and develop an approach towards solving this type of question from number puzzles. Again, I am telling, earlier in banking exams, whether in SBI or IBPS, we have not seen grid based questions from number series. Normally we get series based questions or wrong number questions, but as we always do here, we keep preparing for the future also. We should know what has come in the past, but also be ready for the future. Any changes, any surprises should not be a surprise for us. कोई भी नया टाइप का क्वेश्चन आएगा, आपको पहले से पता होना चाहिए कि उसको कैसे करेंगे. So grid diagram based questions हमारा टॉपिक का ऑब्जेक्टिव है क्लास का, to understand, to expose you, to make you familiar first of all with these grid questions. Why do we choose these grid questions? Because these grid questions are common in other exams which are very similar to banking. So if you take up exams for MBA or exams for railway or other government, semi-government examinations, you can see a number of questions based on this type also. Clear? In the defense examinations, in FCAT, that is Air Force Common Admission Test, Aptitude Test, there also you find a lot of grid based questions from number puzzles. So it's very likely that it can also come in banking. We'll do this through problem discussion, and let's start with the first problem and see what this problem is all about. Find out the number that should come in place of the question mark in the table given below. Okay, so find out the number that should come in place of the question mark. Here we have number 24 and the number 35 and the number 107. So how are these numbers related? What kind of relation is there? In the second row we have 32, 45 and 156. In third row we have 46, 52 and there is a question mark. So first of all, understand that in a number series questions, relations can be of different types. Numbers could be related in row fashion, so numbers in a row could have a relationship, or they could be related in the column, so there could be a relationship among the columns. Sometimes even diagonals have a relationship, and we have to understand what is the relationship among the numbers given to you in the diagonals. Alright. The relation could be of various types. It could be like a series question where there can be a difference between numbers, or it could be there can be n different possibilities. बहुत सारे तरीकों से एक सीरीज बनाया जा सकता है. एक नंबर पजल बनाने के कितने तरीके हो सकते हैं. क्रिएटिविटी और वो डिफिकल्टी डिपेंड करता है जो एग्जाम पेपर सेट कर रहा है उस पर. अगर आप इसको कंपेयर करेंगे तो आज के डेट में नंबर पजल आ रहा है, बट थोड़ा इस फॉर्म में नहीं, थोड़ा हट के थोड़ा डिफरेंट फॉर्म में आता है. वो है इनपुट आउटपुट के फॉर्म में. So if you look at SBI paper of 2018, वहाँ पे जो input output question था number blocks में दिए हुए थे, and using the digits of the numbers in the blocks we had to find out the numbers in the next step and second and third and so on. ठीक है. Now if you want to see this type of question, you can watch the video for input output session 3. There you will find out that we have already discussed with you input output which is based on number puzzles. So let's see here this question 24 and 35 and try and solve and find out how did we get 107 in the first row from the numbers that we see on the screen. How did we get 107? So if you see here 2 and 5, the first digit of 24 is 2 and the last digit of 35 is 5. If you add 2 and if you multiply 2 and 5, how much do you get? What is 2 into 5? 2 into 5 is 10. Okay. Now if you look at the second digit of 24, that is 4, and the first digit of 35 which is 3, and you add them, you add 4 and 3. So 4 plus 3 is equal to 7. That is how you get the number 107. Again you see, this is just an example of how a question can be created. There are so many different ways. What you have to do is process the numbers as fast as possible and figure out how the numbers could be related. This all depends on practice, your ability to add, subtract, multiply, find squares and cubes effectively without using a calculator. तो आप numbers के साथ कितने जल्दी काम कर सकते हैं, कितना जल्दी आप calculate कर सकते हैं, squares, cubes निकाल सकते हैं, numbers add कर सकते हैं, ये processing speed आपका कितना अच्छा है, इस पे डिपेंड करता है कि आप कितने फास्ट हैं क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करने पे. सेकंड, whether you are able to crack the logic or not. तो अभी एक क्वेश्चन हमने देखा, जरूरी नहीं है कि सेम टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन एग्जाम में आ जाए, एग्जाम में कुछ और लॉजिक भी हो सकता है, राइट. सो वी हैव टू कीप प्रैक्टिसिंग. सो लेट्स सी अगेन 3 and 5. If you multiply 3 and 5, what number we get here? 15. And if you add the numbers 2 and the number 4, 2 plus 4 becomes equal to 6. So 3 into 5 is 15 and 2 plus 4 is equal to 6. Next we look at the last row. So in the last row what do we have? 4 and 2. When you multiply 4 into 2 we get 8, and when you add 6 and 5 we get 11. So what number should come in the place of the question mark? 811. So this example clearly shows what is the difference between a number series question and a number grid puzzle based question. Okay, here we need more creativity and we have to process more information, right? There could be various ways. It could be an analogy based question, it can be a series based question in the form of a number puzzle. So how quickly you are able to approach the question, how quickly you are able to add, subtract and process the numbers, that is what is being tested. Your creativity is also being tested. Reasoning, ability to work with numbers, your creativity, your presence of mind and attention to detail. आप कितनी बारीकी से numbers को देख सकते हैं और उनके बीच के relations को ढूंढ सकते हैं. That is being tested in this particular question type. Let's go to the next one. Find out the number that should come in the place of the question mark in the table given below. So again a very similar grid type question is there. 12 is there, 42 is there, 18 is there. How can we relate between these numbers 12 and 18? So if I add 12 and 18, immediately I'll get 30, and if I say 30 plus 12 is 42, okay, that could be one logic, but is this logic being also shown in the second row? Not really, right? Because if you look at the second row, 48 plus 31 is equal to 79, and 79 plus 12 gives you something else, right? So 79 plus 12 gives you 91. So I have 86 there. So that logic of adding the first and last number and then getting also to get numbers by doing anything with 1 and 1 or 1 and 8, that is also not working here. What else could be a possibility? I am going to multiply 12 into 18 because 12 into 18 is equal to 120 plus 96, which is equal to 216. sorry, yeah, 216. So we have 12, 18, and then we have to find out what number comes in between. 42 and 116 are not related in any particular way. Can we do something with the sum of digits here? 1 plus 2 is equal to 3, and 1 plus 8 is equal to 9. 3 into 9 is 27. That is also not working. So what I am showing to you is the various ways in which this question can be approached. How do we approach these kind of questions? Look at the sum of digits, look at the product of numbers, look at 12 and 42. 12 and 42 is equal to 54. 54 by 3 is equal to 18. Is this particular logic also possible? Let's see 48 and 86. 48 and 86 is equal to 14, and 134. 134 by 3 is not divisible. So that's not going to work out, right? So this is again not working out. Very quickly in 3, 4 seconds I am trying out different approaches and see which is working out. What else could be there? Halving the numbers. What is half of 12? 6. Half of 18? 9. 9 into 6 is 54. Okay. What is double of 12? 24. Double of 18? 36. 36 and 24 gives you 60. But you look at this, half of 12 is 36. Double of 18 is half of 12. Just let me make this a little bit more clear to you. Okay, so half of 12 is 6, and double of 18 is 36, and 36 plus 6 is 42. Yes, so that is one of the logic that definitely applies. So can we also try with 48? What is half of 48? 24. What is double of 31? 62. And 62 plus 24, does it give us 86? Yes. So yes, that is the final logic. So what is the final logic? The first number you would divide by 2. The third number you multiply with 2. And this 6 and this 36 you add to get 42. So it is not that the moment you see the question in the exam you will know this is the logic. That is not the case. Understanding? That is not how it works. What is important is that you see different ways of approaching the question. I have tried everything. Sum of digits is there, doubling the number, half the number, take the square of numbers, take average of numbers, multiplication, addition, subtraction, everything I have to try, and that too, all these things must be processed within 40-45 seconds to get the answer. Okay. So what will be the answer for this question? 56 by 2 is 28, and 62 into 2 is 124, and 124 plus 124 plus 28, that is equal to 152. So what number should come in the place of the question mark? 152 should come in the place of the question mark. Alright. So let's go and see the third question and see what could be the logic of this question. 2, 3, 5. So immediately it seems like 2 plus 3 is equal to 5, but can the question be so simple? 3 plus 6 is 9. So immediately we know this logic of 3 plus 6 is 9. That's not going to work, right? Because that can't be a case here. So 3 square is 9. 9 minus 2 square is 4. Can this be the case? So 3 square is 9 and 2 square is 4. And 9 minus 4 is equal to 5. That is one definitely looking right. Okay. What is 6 square? So 6 square is 36, and what is 3 square? 9, and 36 minus 9 is 27, not 14. So again that's not going to work out. Okay. So what else could be there? So first number is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. That did not work out. But you see here the first number is 2. If you add 1 plus 2, what do we get? 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. Okay. And if you add 1 square plus 2 square, how much you get? 1 square is 1, 2 square is 4, 1 plus 4 is 5. So that means it's a question based on summation n square. So this is now again a new type of completely new question for you, summation n and summation n square based question. Okay. So what is n here? N is the number in the first box. The second box, the number that is there is summation n, is epsilon, that is summation n, and this summation n, and then we have summation n square, summation n and summation n square. That's how we get this number. So the first number is 3. See, 1 plus 2 plus 3 is equal to 6. 1 plus 2, 3, 3 plus 3 is equal to 6. And if you add 1 square plus 2 square plus 3 square, that's equal to 14. So 1 plus 4, 5, 5 plus 9, 14. So definitely that is the question here. Now adding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that much time we will not waste in the examination. So what we will do is, you will note down the formula of summation. Okay, so these things I am just erasing. That's just trying to show you how we approach questions, what all do we see when we are looking at a question. Okay, so let's say first of all you should know what is the formula for summation n. Summation n is equal to n into n plus 1 by 2. Okay, so summation n square, other than the question here, its wider application in mathematics is there. तो in fact आपको पता होना चाहिए summation formulas. Summation n क्या है, summation n square formula क्या है. Summation n square is equal to n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 divided by 6. So if we know the formula, we can just put the value and calculate the answer without having to worry about what is the exact answer. Summation n cube, although it's not required in this question, I am still giving to you, n into n plus 1 by 2 the whole square. This you should know, right? So these are some of the formulas which are very helpful for you in the examination. So here let's say the first number is 8. So summation 8 is equal to 8 into 9 by 2. That is how we got this number 36. Okay. Now summation 8 square is equal to 8 into 9 into 16 plus 1, 17 by 6, 72 by 6 is 12. 120 plus 84 is equal to 204. So this number here should be 204. What number should come in the place of the question mark? 204 should come in the place of the question mark. So all these important things are there that you should note down. What is the formula for summation n? What is the formula for summation n square, n cube? How do we approach a question? How different one question of grid can be from the other question? No link of this question with the previous question. And it all depends upon the person who is setting your paper, what kind of creativity they want to test in you and how difficult or easy they want to make a particular question. You can make a question infinitely difficult or very simple or average or difficult. It all depends upon the purpose of the examination and why the question is being created. आपको questions को समझना है और approach build करना है and practice करना है with as many questions as possible. कल को अगर ये क्वेश्चन एग्जाम में आए तो यू शुड नॉट बी कम्प्लीटली सरप्राइज विद इट, राइट. आपको पता होना चाहिए कि इस क्वेश्चन का अप्रोच कैसे करते हैं और क्या क्या यूज हो सकता है क्वेश्चन क्रिएट करने में. नेक्स्ट लुक एट दिस क्वेश्चन हियर. 12, 38, 56, 32, 30, 44 and then we have 12 question mark and 84. So what could be the logic in this question? 12 plus 56, if I say 56 minus 12, that is 44, but this is 38 and 44 minus 6 is 38, but then that is not working out. 44 by 32 is only 8, we are getting 30 there, so it's not based on difference here. We can't even take average here, so 56 plus 12 is equal to 68, and if I take the average of 68 I get 34. 34 plus 4 is 38, but then if I try 32 and 44, the next row 32 and 44, we are getting here 6 and 6 and the average 66 by 2, 33, I have 30 here, so it's not just not working out with that also. So is this question based on something entirely different? That is what you have to focus. What could be the difference in this question compared to the previous questions? What common pattern can we see? Is it a question based on columns, right? Is that the logic used in the question, based on columns? So if you see the question, just a minute, look at the question. If you look at these numbers 12, 32 and 12, again they don't seem to be having any pattern here, 56, 44, 84. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's add these numbers and see what could be the case. 38 plus 12 is equal to 50 and 50 plus 56 is equal to 106. 32 plus 30 is 62 and 62 plus 44 is equal to, so this could be as simple as that, which just we did not look properly, right? That the sum of the numbers in each row is constant, right? Isn't that simple? But again, did you observe that while when you looked at the question for the first time, did this strike in your mind that it could be based on a simple constant sum? Okay, so 12 plus 84 is equal to 96. So 106 minus 96 will be our answer, right? That is equal to 10. So what number should come here? 10 should come in the place of this number, right? So that is the logic, simple. 12 plus 10 plus 84 is equal to 106. So there could be a question where the sum of numbers in rows or columns are constant. All these things must be there in your mind. हर तरह से आपको क्वेश्चन को देखना है और समझना है कि क्वेश्चन किस प्रकार से डिफरेंट हो सकते हैं, हाउ वन क्वेश्चन कैन बी डिफरेंट फ्रॉम द अदर, और कितने तरह के मेथड्स हो सकते हैं क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करने के या बनाने के, वो पता होगा आपको और आप प्रैक्टिस करिएगा तो डेफिनेटली यू विल बी एबल टू सॉल्व क्वेश्चंस इन द एग्जाम. ओके, नाउ लेट्स सी द नेक्स्ट थिंग, दैट इज द प्रीवियस सेशन कॉन्टेस्ट क्वेश्चन. So here this series is based on the concept of into 2 minus 1 into 3 minus 2 into 4 minus 3 and so on. So what should come in the place of the number in the question marks? You see here 22, 43, 127, we have a question mark here, 2521, 15121 followed by 105841. Now here definitely we are not going to look at the larger number, look at the smaller number, and you can see here from 22 we went to almost 1,05,841. That's a pretty big jump, which means we knew that it is a multiplication series. You have to multiply. It is a multiplication series. But normally multiplication series means into something plus something. So look at 22 and 43, it is into 2 minus 1. So 22 into 2 is 44 and 44 minus 1 is 43. If you compare 43 and 127, it is into 3 minus 2. So 3 into 3 9 and 129 minus 2 is 127. So going on with the same flow, into 4 minus 3, into 4 minus 3. So 28, 8 plus 2 10, 1 in hand, 4 plus 1 5, and into minus 1, next is minus 2, next will be minus 3. So minus 3, if we do here 508 minus 3, 505. So what number should come in the place of the question mark? The answer is 505. Excuse me. So the answer in this question is 505. Again, series based questions we have been discussing since yesterday, and so many questions we have discussed here, all of various difficulty levels and different types and methods of solving and creating the series. Let's do the contest question. A very interesting question, very different question here. Contest question for the day today. If the table given below is filled, so we have a table here with 3 rows and 3 columns, total 9 boxes are there. If the table given below is filled using all the digits from 1 to 9, like a Sudoku, you have to fill all the digits from 1 to 9 in such a way that the sum of each row, each column and each diagonal is the same, then what will be the value of x? So x, the number that should come here, what number should come in the place of x, right? This x we are talking about. So if we fill the digits from 1 to 9 in the table that you see on the screen, what number will come in the place of x? Keeping in mind that all the digits are used exactly once, because there are 9 boxes and 9 digits. Second is that the sum of rows, columns are all equal. So read the question, make this table and solve. It will take some time to solve, so work it out and post the answer for this question in the comment section. Let's see how many of you can take this challenge and solve this question yourself. If you're able to solve this question without having any reference from before, that means you have very good reasoning skills. Okay, let's go on with the question discussion for the class here. So find the number that will come in place of the question mark in the diagram given below. So we have different numbers here, and in that numbers we have a triangle. So it's a diagram based question. We have a triangle given to us, 3 numbers are on the outside of the triangle and 1 number is inside. So how these numbers are linked, that is what we have to understand, how these numbers are linked. Based on the observation from the first example, so 2 illustrations are given for you, so that you can confidently tell with certainty that this is the approach used in this question. Okay, if only one diagram is there, sometimes it's difficult to find out whether the approach that I am thinking is same as what the exam setter, the creator of the exam is thinking. Even in such scenarios where only 2 diagrams are given, if answer options are given, then still it can help. Here I have not given answer options. Just look at the first and second triangle and try to figure out what could be the logic used in creating this question. How these numbers 12, 18, 16 and 22. So basically we have to look at these numbers 12, 16, 18 and 22. What should we do with these numbers to get 22? See, 18 plus 4 is 22, right? 18 plus 4 is 22 and 12 and 16 difference is 4, and 18 and 4 is 22, so that could be one definite, looks like a good logic here. Let's try with this number here. So 18 and 15 and 28, 18 and 15 the difference is 3, so let's not worry about smaller or bigger number. 18 and 15 difference is 3 and 28 and 3 difference is 25. So if the same logic is used in 2 questions, then we can rest assured that this is how this question is supposed to be solved. So what is then this third one? Okay, so here we have 32 and 11, the difference is equal to 1 and 21, correct? So 2 minus 1, 1, so 21, and this is number is 23. So 23 and 21, the number that should come here should be 2. So you can see here what we can do. We can observe the question, try to understand what has been done in this particular question, then based on that observation we have to find out the answer. These are puzzle questions, intelligence testing questions. If you look at IQ test online anywhere, you will find a number of questions of this type. Because these type of questions test your reasoning skills, pure reasoning skills. How can you quickly find out the relation among the different numbers that you see in a particular question, in a particular diagram, right? There could be so many varieties, so many different ways could be there in which one question can be created. How good are you in finding out that way? How good are you in picking the mind of the question paper setter? Picking the mind means understanding what he was thinking. जब उसने क्वेश्चन बनाया था, जिसने भी एग्जाम बनाया है, जिसने क्वेश्चन पेपर बनाया है, जब उसने क्वेश्चन बनाया था तो वो क्या सोच रहा था? क्या हम उसके जैसा सोच सकते हैं कि नहीं? If we can think like him, then we can solve the question that he or she has created. That is what is required. Let's go on and see the next question here. Find the number that will come in the place of question mark in the diagram given below. So here we have a very different looking question. 3, 4 and 12, 3, 5 and 6, and the number inside is 36, correct? What number is it? So we have to see how can 2, 4, 3 and 36 be related. How can I use 2, 4 and 3 to obtain 36? 3 square is 9, 3 square is 9 into 4, 36, but that does not work. You see, 9 into 4 is 36, 6 cube is 216, 216 into 5, 1080, so that's definitely not going to work. 2 plus 3 is 5, 5 plus 4 is 9, 9 into 4 is 36, okay, this also looks like a good logic. 3 plus 6 9, 9 plus 5 is 14, and 14 into 4 is 60. So 9 into 4 36, 14 into 4 56, sorry. 3 plus 6 9, 9 plus 5 14, 14 into 4 is 56. Even if I take 5, 114 cannot divide 100, so there is no way you are going to multiply anything to get 100 from 14. What else could be it could be a multiplication thing. 3 into 2 6, 6 into 4 24, 24 plus 12, 6 into 3 18, 18 plus 5 90 plus 100, but that again does not look same. The logic used in the first diagram and second diagram should be identical. Okay, this is something very different. So you see here what we are doing. First of all, one clue that is there is definitely is that 36 is nothing but 6 square and 100 is 10 square, so it cannot be a mere coincidence. सिर्फ इत्तेफाक नहीं है कि ये दोनों नंबर्स जो हैं बीच में दोनों परफेक्ट स्क्वायर्स हैं. If both the numbers 36 and 100 are perfect squares, then there is a good possibility. संभावना है यहाँ पे कि स्क्वायर बेस्ड हो. So now I am just thinking about how did we get this 6? How did we get this 6? Now I am not thinking about 36. Now I am thinking about how do I get 6 from 2, 4 and 3. How do I get 6 from 2, 4 and 3? That is workable. You see, 3 into 4 is 12. 3 into 4 is 12, and 12 by 2 is equal to 6, and 6 square is 36. Okay, so that is very clearly. Now let's try it here. 6 into 5, multiply 6 into 5. 6 into 5 is 30, divide by 3, 30 by 3 is 10, and 10 square is 100. Correct, perfectly right. Identical logic used in the first and second diagram. So let's try out this one. 10 into 8 is 80, and 80 by 16 is equal to 5, and 5 square is 25. So what should come in the place of the question mark here? 25 should come. Again, this question radically different from the previous question. Okay, now let's see what else can be tested in the examination when you get a question based on number grid puzzles. Let's look at this question here. Find the number that will come in the place of the question mark in the diagram. Same question is there. Triangle, we have 3 numbers outside, 1 number inside. So by now it's, I'm definitely sure that it's clear to you कि क्वेश्चन में करना क्या होता है. जो बाहर में जो नंबर्स हैं उनको यूज करके अंदर का नंबर कैसे बन रहा है. एडिशन किया है, सब्ट्रैक्शन है, एवरेज है, मल्टीप्लिकेशन है, स्क्वायर्स, क्यूब्स, फैक्टोरियल, सब कुछ ट्राई कर सकते हैं. आप नंबर्स देखिएगा तो आप यू कैन सी वेरी क्लियरली दैट यू विल एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड कि फैक्टोरियल तो नहीं है, क्योंकि यहाँ पे फैक्टोरियल मतलब कि 5 क्यूब 6, 5 फैक्टोरियल 120, 6 फैक्टोरियल 720. क्यूब भी नहीं है यहाँ पे, स्क्वायर भी नहीं है, क्योंकि 15 और 13 जो है वो स्क्वायर्स नहीं है. And if I add the square of 16, 12, 15, the number will be very big. So numbers देख के within 8-10 seconds you have to predict what could be a possibility. 16, 12 and 15. How do I use these numbers? 16, 12, 16 and 15. Now this looks clear that okay, 13 is a number in the center. So 13 12 plus 1 है, 16 plus minus 3 है, and 15 minus 2 be 13 है. But exactly what is happening, because here we have 20, 8, 13, 20 and 15. So it's not working out like 8 plus 1, right? And 20 minus 5 and 13 plus 2, here we are doing minus 2, here we are doing plus 2. So some other logic is there. Simple addition is not going to help. If you add the numbers 12 plus 15 plus 16, that also is not helping us. You see, 12 plus 15, 27, and 27, 10, 37, 37 plus 6 is 43, and this number is 13. So it's not average based also, we can't find the average. What else could be a possibility? Should we start adding numbers in groups and see? For example, 16 and 12 if you add, how much you get? 28. And what is the number here? 15. And what is 28 minus 15? 28 minus 15 is equal to 13. See, I could have told you the answer directly. बट पहले भी मैंने क्वेश्चन बताया कि हमारा पर्पस यहाँ क्या है, अप्रोच डेवलप करना, आपको ये दिखाना कि सोचते कैसे हैं, हाउ डू यू थिंक इन द एग्जामिनेशन एंड व्हाट आर ऑल द पॉसिबिलिटी. So you add 16 and 12, 28, the other number is 15, subtract to get 13, try and see whether you get the same thing with 24 and 18 or not. So 24, 34, 8, first of all here, let's check it here, no, because here we don't know the number. 20 plus 8, 28, and 28 and 13, 15, yes, 100% the logic is same. So 34 and 8, 42, and 42 and 24, the difference will be 18. So what number should come in the place of the question mark here? The answer is, the number that should come in the place of the question mark is 18, and the logic used, as you can see, a very different one from the previous one. Clear? In every question something new is happening, कुछ नया है, और यही एग्जाम में भी होगा. अगर नंबर पजल भी आएंगे तो कुछ नया होगा वहाँ पे, ये सेम क्वेश्चन नहीं आ जाएगा या सेम लॉजिक नहीं यूज होगा, कुछ नया लॉजिक, कुछ अलग होगा जिससे आपको टेस्ट किया जा सके. Can you think in the under pressure in exam scenario and get the answer? Now how do we prepare for that scenario? By solving as many questions as possible and solving puzzle questions from puzzle books and wherever you can find IQ based questions and puzzle questions, that you overall become smarter. आप overall smart बनेंगे तो आप हर question को सही तरीके से approach कर पाएंगे. So don't just think about mugging formulas and this and that. Also try to improve the way you think logically, right? That is why these puzzle questions are so interesting. Well, let's look at the last question here for the session today. 12, 13 and 5, 15, 17 and 8. This is a grid question, not diagram question, similar to what you have done earlier. Let's see something new here. So 12, 13 and 5, 12 plus 13 is 25. 12 plus 13 is equal to 25, and square root of 25 is 5, that's okay, but what about 15 and 17, right? 15 plus 17 is equal to 32, and 32 by 4 is 8. 32 double, if you do double of 32, then it will become 64, and square root of 64 will be 8, but then that is not what we did in the first row. Understand, if a logic is used in the second row, similar logic should be used in the first row also. What are these numbers basically telling you? What all we can do while solving the question here? Let's look at this thing. 5 square is how much? 25, right? And 2 square, 12 square is equal to 144. And if you add 25 and 144, how much do you get? 169. And what is the square root of 169? The square root of 169 is equal to 13. The square root of 169 is 13, and that is how you get the middle number here. That means these numbers 5, 12, 13 basically are right angle triangle numbers, Pythagorean triplets. They make a right angle triangle. 5 square plus 12 square is equal to 13 square. Let's try with 8, 15, 17. What is 8 square? 8 square is 64 and 15 square is 225. 4 plus 5, 9, and 8 and 2, and you can see very clearly 17 square is equal to 289. That is how we got the number 17. That means 8 square plus 15 square is equal to 17 square, sorry. That means in the last number here, 3 square plus 4 square should give us the answer. What is 3 square? 3 square is 9 and 4 square is 16. 9 plus 6 is 25, and we know 25 is 5 square. So what number should come in the place of the question mark? The answer is 5. Number 5 should come in the place of the question mark. Again, this question was different from the previous ones we have done today. So we have to prepare for everything new that can come in the examination. What all possible ways are there about thinking? Solve IQ based questions, as many puzzle questions as possible, and solve the CPP questions, and try to develop approach, speed and intelligence. Because in today's day of competition, if you are not the best, you are among the rest. That means you will not be among the toppers, those who are qualifying, those who have cleared the cutoff, and those who will finally get into a bank and get a job in a public sector bank. That is why you need to be at your best and learn from the best and understand the best techniques of solving questions in banking examination. So with this we have concluded the discussion on number series. All types of questions that are there for number series we have discussed in 4 different videos. Observe, watch the 4 videos and see and understand how to solve each type of question. Alright, so now the time for the class practice pack. Those who have passport access can start solving the questions once you hear the sound. The question that most of you get wrong, I will be discussing in my next video session. So best of luck to you and thank you. Keep learning.